Hello guys, well welcome to Friggin' Jeep. This is a place that I try not to go very often, but it's getting the time of the year I gotta go here. And I haven't cleaned this area out in years and years and years and years, and I've wanted to clean it out, so I'm just kind of mousing around because I don't feel like doing nothing else. And you know me, I bounce from one thing to another like a ping pong ball in a wind tunnel. Probably could outdo that. So I'm cleaning some stuff out. I'll show you kind of what's going on here. Been working on the boiler a little bit. Well, that's kind of what started it. I knew I had to, we'll take you down there. See how I'm burning out on the edge of my thing. So I knew the gasket on the boiler door up here needs to be redone. So I'm gonna pull that off, and I knew I had some gasket material. I did clean some of the tubes there out, which I guess doesn't look clean to you, but I got a tool there that I made that's got a sharp edge on both sides, so it cuts the soot off on the way. I don't know if you can see it on the way in, and maybe you can see it down here on the way in, the way out. It cuts it and doesn't. Sometimes it's hard to get through that slimy crud, but I'm trying to be good, which is hard for me because normally I don't do this till a day before they're forecasting sub-zero weather. So I'm a little ahead. Here's a pile of trash. This stuff is so dusty and so messed up. I carry a big array of parts, and I had a lot of them on this table. A big array of extra parts, just in case I think I need it. And there's probably old junk parts. There's something that's kind of interesting. This sea container is under roof, and see how they still decompose? Here's old insulation things where it gets to the point where the animals get in here and eat that insulation off at a rate I can't keep putting it back on, so I just said the heck with it. But I'm also looking for some white tape. I've cleaned a bunch of this stuff out, a bunch of this stuff out, a bunch of that stuff out. There's a helmet down there. You guys see everybody likes these helmets. I've had this helmet for quite a few years, and I never liked it, so I never wore it, and I don't even know what's in there. Looks like more tire chain stuff. I'll have to look in there later, maybe look at it. This, I don't know exactly what that is. Some old hearts we used to have when we had big venues here. Used to have lanterns hanging off those. There's a squirrel trap. I might have to get that working again. Snow shovels that I haven't used in a long time. I keep them back here, easy to get to. There's a hole digger there. All sorts of goofy stuff. Anyhow, I'm working on trying to find this. I found a couple mouse traps in there. In fact, here's a chain. The no mouse trap. Some heavy duty cable there. A grass seed bag. Anyhow, this I don't think you're gonna find this too interesting. Me routing through this crap here. So there you go. I think a little dust on there. You know what that is? You guys watch me when I open up the bottom of the boiler. I can look up the stack and see if there's anything in there. Can't do it this time of the year. This poor old boiler. It is wore out. It's got to be over 30 years old, and not much. You can see a lot of the lines I don't have insulated. Some of them I do. It just got to a point where were all insulated, these heat lines, but the squirrels ate all that off of there, and that's kind of what's happened here. Is the squirrels have eaten. They eat this stuff here, and I'm looking. There's a tape. I guess you guys are getting dizzy as heck. There's this tape here that you can get, and I think I might be out of it. That as they start to pull it off, so I kind of like to redo that, just because there's a lot of insulation in this boiler. So here's the door. Oh my goodness! Look at all the spider webs. It's that time of the year. Got to think about it. Got to get a flashlight and look inside there. Might have to buy some. I usually redo the refractory cement every year. Where it's gotten bad. The top seal's completely gone, so I have to redo that. But it gets to the point where on this one here, the door leaks so bad, I just don't care. Let it leak. Where's it going to go? Outside. Anyhow, there was a clean out door down here, but that never really came to fruition. Is that the right word? We built this thing. The top part was a Spencer boiler, if you're new here. The bottom part was refractory. We made I don't know how many years ago down at Jeffrey's, probably 15 years ago. That was an old air compressor tank we turned into an expansion tank. What else is going on? Here's the big air thing where I get all that water that comes off the condensate. I get 5 gallons a week of condensate off that. But the fire's in here, remember? So it's not, it's black, if you recall. If not, I can go over it. And I did insulate that at one time. There was a big insulation thing, and that didn't really make any difference. So sump pump for when this thing fills up with water, because it fills up with water from when the water table gets too high. It fills up from time to time. And just look at the mess. I even got a radio up there. I got a nice clock up there. I got gauges on everything telling me the temperature going out and the temperature coming back in. It's below 60 degrees in the boiler right now. And I've already cleaned a lot of this up. You can't really tell at all. And the dust, my God. I mean, if you got to look at that. There's a temperature gauge up there. Can you find it? I don't use that one, so I don't really care about it. Anyhow, that's what's going on here today. I'm working on that, and then I'll probably flip over to something else because I'm not going to spend all day on this, but I'm trying to get that table out of here. So I'll probably put those insulation rolls up there, get the table out, scrub it up, and put it with the other tables because I just kind of want to get it out of here. That's all. And if you remember the past, I used to have some shelves over here. I'm a pack rat hoarder. Don't ever get like that. It's not a good thing. Oh, there's spare relays and stuff in there. This is all covered with relays here and here, and relay up there for stuff that I decided never to hook that up. I built it and liked it, and then there was reasons why I didn't hook it up. So that's the way that is. Down the pit's got to be all cleaned out with the spider webs and stuff. So normally I start it, like I said, a day after I need it instead of when I need it, but that's the way it is. Anyhow, I'll bring you back as progress moves on. We'll see you now. Bye-bye. Another real windy day. I guess this is just a minute update. I hope the wind didn't bother you too much on that Jeep show, and I hope you liked it. If you liked it, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe. Or just hit the like button, leave a comment that you like the old Jeep show. There were kind of some pretty Jeeps up there. Anyhow, I'm trying to do better on dating my bundles of firewood. So 10, 17, 25. I guess we're in year 25. I don't know where I'm at. If not, it doesn't make any difference. So I'm going to bring up 12 of these here. 12 of these is three cords because it's a third, a third, a third. Yeah, no, 4 cords. And I'll put them under I'll put this on the edge ones, and then ones down the center won't have it. And so I got to bring another one of them up today too. Just put it on the list. Bye-bye. Guess you really can't see them making any progress there, but I really made a lot of progress. I found the white tape that I like here. This goes in the knuckle boom truck. That tells me the specs, but you could never read it. This is the white tape that goes on there. There's some. Here's the insulation for the door. There's 3 pieces of it there. I've got the table out of here. Look at that. I got the table out of here, and I'm sitting here looking and going, if I could tie some kind of shelves on here, because there's a few things here. Boom, boom. I don't even know what's in that. That right there is a sump pump, I guess, type of thing for down in there when it gets... I've had that thing fill up with water many times. There's lots of reasons for it, but I'm not going to get into that. I've got all the insulation up there on the wall. I've got almost all my parts in there now, so we're getting pretty good. Getting there. I've got that goes to a trash compactor that's down on the new sawmill. I just put stuff everywhere. I am my own worst enemy. Anyhow, I think that's a cat hole. If it's groundhog, it'd be dug out and dug out and dug out. I've had this sea container for since in the 80s, I guess. So it's been around for a long time, and it's full. But anyhow, if I can find some shelf brackets, if I could find a shelf bracket to go in there and a shelf bracket to go in there, I could bolt them on the inside and just have a short section of shelves in here. Don't know whether I got that anymore or not. I used to have tons of that kind of stuff. And I think this is on a cement pier right there too. I know it's on footers. So that's what I'm up to. Oh, I'll go up and show you something else that I got into. I gotta move some of this stuff out. Show you something else. I'm flashing, battery's flashing at me as usual. Be back in a minute. Well, this is just kind of an update from showing down where I needed the shelves. I bought some more of those to make 4 more bases for my wood racks. So that's one thing. These are the rails that you get, and this company is Sure. Real nice rails, real nice bracketry, real heavy, and I got most of them out of a gas station years ago, but you can see I have shelves and save junk everywhere. Shelves lined everywhere. Shelves over here. Just every place you can imagine. Then I put more shelves, which is good for me, but a pack rat I don't recommend anymore. Throw everything away and start new, and you won't be spending half hours and hours looking for where you put it or any of that kind of stuff. Like, where'd you put that drill bit? I guess that's a some kind of mortar. I can't think what I'm thinking. Anyhow, I'm gonna look around for 2 of those rails, but I don't really think I got any more. I'm next to positive I've used them up. Every cubby hole that you can imagine. We'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye. Here are the same shelf brackets, and they hold a lot of heavy stuff. Those Sure shelf brackets are pretty good. They're all here. They're all lined up back in there. And now those are the ones that came out of a gas station. No, they're not. Some of them around here are, though. Don't be a pack rat, guys. It slows you down, but shelves, you can see I put every inch of space is taken up by junk. Now, if Heath is down there, you got this kind of junk? You got enough of this stuff? I got tons of these shelves here. I've used them all up just about. I put them in my last parts department thing down there, so I'm about ready to go down there and look see if I got any more shelf brackets down there. Be back in a bit. Well, here's some more shelves. Same thing. These are the old used ones that I had, and I noticed something up there. You can't see them, not enough light. Sorry about your bad luck. But there's something up there that might be usable. And if so, I'm digging in. So that's kind of where I'm at now. So these things are just unbelievably strong. This thing's bowed, but I think there's a rear axle. There's a drum right there. I make trailer axles out of those. So I think there's another one up there someplace. Who knows what's in that drawer? Had a water leak. I think it's fixed, but it doesn't look like it's fixed. Anyhow, I'm going up there after them. Be back in a bit. Bye-bye. Oh, did you ever see all the extra saw blades? How many are here? There's not one in that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 extra blades. Plus, I got the one down the farm parker's mine. And there's a 60-inch Simon's down at Jeffrey's, it's mine. So I got backup blades. Be back in a bit. Well, I found some shelf bracketry. This one here is a no name. I don't know what it is. And I got 6 shelves and 2 rails. This is Sure. I know what that is. And I only have 1, 2, 3 for that. And so that's kind of out of the question. Just left over from doing all the shelvings I got. And I have another set of these. So I'm going to take the nicest stuff and save it out. Don't know why. And put the nastiest stuff back in here. Way back there in that corner. See, I'm working on lights. I might do it in the nighttime anyway. But got to do some measuring and all that kind of stuff. There's what it is. It'll probably get put up. I don't know if you can. Oh, I can't lift with that arm. Sorry about that. Anyhow, there's no point in putting the bracket all the way down the bottom, because then you can't put stuff underneath of it. And I'm going to probably put stuff underneath of it. And I don't want to knock out the cat entrance hole. So I'll put it up, I don't know, probably a foot or maybe 2 foot, and then see where it comes out. I have to do some planning on that. And I'll probably put it in this rail because I like my hose there. That's pretty good for keeping the hose there. So just whatever it comes up with. You know, I can put it in here, and in here it can extend over to here. Then I got to find somebody with a sawmill that can make me a board that size. There's some boards up there. Those are hickory. Hickory dickory dock. Anyhow, that's kind of where I'm going at, and I should be able to put a hole, you can't see, one in here, and one in there, and 3/4 inch bolts should hold that. It's just it's a shear as opposed to strength or something. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you guys know. Anyhow, it's getting on to be about dinner time. 5 minutes to dinner time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get washed up and start planning on this, start marking this off. So we'll see you in a bit. Well, the next step in my mess was mark where I'm going to drill the holes, and then I marked the shelves. So now I got to go down and figure out what the height of them is that I want. I wonder what these holes were for. Anyhow, coming along, dinner time. Bye. Well, I'm having a hard time for this focusing in, I guess because I got all the bright lights. But if you can see, if it doesn't go out of focus, I got my holes drilled, boom, boom, and down there someplace. I got a line about where I wanted it. Drew a little spot on the side of the track rail, so I marked this one, then marked that one. And what I did is put the bolt in there and taped it in here, because you guys know it's a one-man band here, so that'll hold it, I guess, when I go inside to put the nuts on there. So that's just kind of update. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing over here as over there. We'll be back in a bit. Bye bye. Well, I don't think you guys have ever been in this parts department. Lots of shelves. Like I said, I got lots of shelves. Those old military shelves there I bought in an auction many years ago. It used to be really stacked up with Jeep parts. There's a transmission, there's a thing, there's some hubs there. Those are actually the automatic hubs. In the show yesterday up at the Jeep place, I said a bunch of the hubs. There's hubs there, there's hubs there, there's a couple air filters, bunch of pulleys I keep in here. All sorts of nonsense. There's some old hubs there. There's the bird feeder, transmission, flywheels, bell housings. There used to be tons of stuff. That whole shelf back there used to be loaded with carburetors and all sorts of nonsense. Here's the problem though. How about you? You ever seen one of those? You know what that is? Leave a comment if you know what that thing is. Here's a clue. These go with it. Anyway, and more stuff, plumbing stuff, spare wire, lights. Heath, you ain't got even close to all the junk I got. Anyhow, here's where I gotta go. I gotta go, oh my goodness, way back there. Oh, I didn't know there were shelves, more shelves back there. Maybe I'll just use those shelves if they're 12 inch. I won't know what they are until I get back there. So if they're 12 inch, they're gonna go on the outside probably, but wooden ones would be easier because you can put screws in to hold them in place. That's kind of where I think I'm heading. Well, I know I'm heading there. Here's oxygen sensors, valves, pipes, plumbing, all sorts of good stuff up. That's a 12 volt motor. There's a couple FC air cleaners back there. All sorts of stuff. Anyhow, I'm gonna go back and get the bolts on there. I taped them on the other side, so hopefully they'll start. Be back in a bit. Well, somehow I managed to get in here, and this thing ain't focusing. There's the, maybe if I, yeah, there it is. There's one, there's one, there's one. That's what it looks like when I come in. If you're ever putting bolts on a sea container, put them on the inside thing. So the bolts when you walk by you won't hit them. Anyhow, I don't know what size those are. I didn't bring a tape in with me, so I'll drag one out. What the heck? Bye. Well, I think I'm done. Except for I got to find a sawmill that can cut me some 14-inch boards, 45 inches long. They come out fairly level. Oh, you probably can't see that. Maybe you can see that. Can you see the bubble in there? It's in there. I'm fairly close. Close enough. Anyhow, sticks out a little further than I want. I could probably cut these off 2 inches if I really cared that much about it, and if I get into a problem later down the road, I can do that. I can still put stuff underneath. The cat can still scoot out from here if she wants. So that's it. I'm done for the night. And it's not even 7 o'clock. So, hope you hit the like button, subscribe. The light's going crazy with those lights, or the camera's going crazy with those lights. Do me a favor. I don't know where to go. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and tell me what you think of the shelf idea. We'll see you later now. Bye-bye. Look at all these pumps. You got to be a nitwit to have all these pumps and all these gauges. What's wrong with this guy? I'm going to face it and then pull some 1-inch boards off. this one cut a little wild. I'm in the orange on the thing. There's too much rod in that to use it for even a board. I'm just gonna let it go till the camera blinks out. And I was cutting these at 1 1/8 anyway. A lot of nice boards. 4, 3. Figure out what my next move is and bring it back then. Let's be back in a bit.